Hi everybody, I wanted to talk today about how to achieve happiness through self-compassion. We can be quite good at offering compassion to others, but I think as mere mortals, we're the first to neglect ourselves and forget self-compassion. When I talk to people about what happiness is, it's different for everybody, and so it should be, because we're all unique, and it'd be so boring if happiness was all just the same for everybody. So when it comes to self-happiness, I tend to check out what the blocks are with people to achieving self-happiness, and it seems to always come down to the same thing: lack of self-compassion. And when we do a timeline and plot back, I often find that people lack self-compassion because somewhere in their younger years, compassion wasn't given, maybe just on one incident when it was really needed and it's left like a hangover effect into the future, or maybe it was regular. I think the trip hazard, and I've done this myself, the trip hazard is when we notice something lacking. When we were younger, we weren't given this, we weren't validated, we weren't soothed, we weren't told that we're absolutely fine as we are, all these things. What happens is later in life, we can actually become aware that we missed certain things growing up or from those around us, but then we start doing it to ourselves. I've done this and I've done it for years, but I'm noticing it more and more with clients, and it's the lack of self-compassion. So people will notice that they maybe weren't shown the love they needed, they weren't given the hugs when they were needed, they weren't told that they're awesome at whatever their creativity was. And then in adult life, they're still affected by that lack, but then they're not validating themselves with that very same thing. They're not giving themselves the compassion, so they might start to condemn themselves. So if they learned that they weren't good enough for whatever reason, they just learnt it somehow growing up, they're very aware of it, but then they're actually reinforcing that belief by putting themselves down in the here and now, not being able to take a compliment, not noticing when they've done something really, really well, not celebrating themselves. And I sit there and think, that comes down to self-compassion. What you lacked often in your childhood can sometimes be the very thing that you end up doing to yourself that you don't realise, because that message is so strong from what you didn't get that's still impacting you now, that on some deep, usually subconscious level, you're doing it to yourself. I've done it loads. I've really been hard on myself. I'm a Virgo, and we're very known for being quite critical to ourselves. But I've known criticism quite a lot in my life. And what I wasn't noticing was that although I'm aware of it, I've actually done it to myself loads. So I'll put myself down, or I'll knock myself, or I'll achieve something and only notice 50% of what I achieved, not the whole 100% of it. Notice what you feel you went without in your formative years, and notice on some level whether you could be reinforcing that in yourself. It's quite a puzzle to work out, because on a conscious level we know that something wasn't great for us. On a subconscious level, are we still replaying that program? So I think happiness, it all comes down to being present, which is hard because we often go back to history. If we can be present, we can create happiness now, even if we didn't have it before. But often to have happiness, we have to have self-compassion to give ourselves permission to be happy. Self-compassion, it's okay when we get something wrong. It's okay when we mess up. It's okay when something wasn't 100%. It's okay when we didn't make the team. You know what? It's okay. Tell yourself it. Because you might be able to tell others that, but can you tell yourself? And really, what you tell yourself matters more than what other people tell you, because your self-talk is the chatter that the conversation you're having all day long. It's with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Happiness in the present moment starts with self-compassion. Life is about a journey of lessons. We're meant to be compassionate. We're meant to make mistakes. We're meant to balls up so that we can get it even better next time. No such thing as failure. It's just an opportunity to work harder at something to get an even greater outcome. Happiness, self-compassion starts with you. Give it to yourself. You deserve it.